What is going on, guys? This is Joeyboy, and I'm bringing you the first Wi-Fi battle on my channel. This was a battle I had against Skrull. I found him on Smogon.com's Find a Wi-Fi battle thread. We just messaged each other, and we decided to have a battle. Let's have a quick look at team preview. My team is the team of 6. You saw me using the rated Wi-Fi battles I did just a couple days ago. I have Focus Sash, Mamoswine, Leftovers, Swords Dance, Aegislash, Physically Defensive Rotom W, Swords Dance, Gliscor, Mega Blaziken, Choice Band, Azumarill. Looking at his team, a little more unorthodox in the threats. The big ones are Excadrill, although I have it checked pretty well. Volcarona, again checked pretty well with Azumarill. Excadrill checked by Rotom W and Gliscor. If it's Mold Breaker, though, Rotom does not check it. Reuniclus, an interesting threat that I hadn't really thought I'd see in 6th gen. But it's checked pretty well with Aegislash. Staraptor can definitely be a threat, but Rotom W can take it out pretty well. And last is his Mega, no doubt, Mega Absol, who has Magic Bounce, a very interesting Pokemon who I haven't fought against until this battle. But let's just get right into it now. So again, I found this battle on Smogon, and here we go. Skrull is issuing a challenge against my team of 6. I do just leave off with my Focus Sash Mamoswine, potentially get up those rocks for a Pokemon like Staraptor. Now, he leads off with Absol, telling me he's going to try and Mega Evolve and potentially bounce my Stealth Rocks back. He does do that. I anticipated him to, so I did go for the Earthquake. But he reveals an interesting move to use on lead Absols, which is Protect, which ensures that he can get Magic Bounce up before the game starts. So he protects against my Earthquake. Now we are going to have a double switch in our hands here as he switches out into Vaporeon to take my Earthquake. But I anticipated him switching out as well. I brought out Gliscor in case he wanted to stay in, though, with Absol. Gliscor could handle that pretty well as long as it wasn't mixed. Now this double switch doesn't work out for me, so I will be switching right out into my Rotom W on this Vaporeon. He switches as well, so the second double switch of the game. This one I come out more so on top. He brings out Reuniclus, which I will just be able to build momentum on using Volt Switch. Aegislash is a very fine Pokemon to take on Reuniclus that I have on my team. Now I'm using the kind of subpar Swords Dance set. In my opinion, the mix set is much stronger, and that is the Aegislash set I'm now running on this Pokemon. But in this game, I am using the more standard Swords Dance set, and I play it kind of risky. You'll see right here, he brings out his Vaporeon, and I am thinking if I can remove this Vaporeon, Azumarill and Blaziken can do a lot more damage. Really, my physical walls in general can do a lot more damage if I can remove his predicted physically bulky Vaporeon. So that's why I kind of go for the risky plays here. This team revolves around breaking the physical walls, and I am trying to do just that. So he misses the burn on the first Scald as I set up a Swords Dance, and this is kind of the risky play in my opinion. He goes for the Scald again, while I just SD one more time. This gave him plenty of opportunities to... Oh, sorry, I already had two Swords Dances up. So he misses the burn against my Aegislash, and I am able to take him out. That crit did not matter. That was a +4 coming off an 150 base attack. Vaporeon's bulky, but it's not that bulky. He's going to be able to bring out his Excadrill. I do misplay here and go right for the King's Shield. He doesn't really have any contact moves he wants to use on me, so this was essentially a free turn to him. If he had Swords Dance, he could have gotten a free Swords Dance up on this turn. I really should have just hard switched right out into Gliscor, which I do this turn, but that was definitely a misplay in that I gave him essentially what could have been a free turn. He Earthquakes, but I'm going to dodge that skillfully with Gliscor. He Rock Slides now. He flinches me, which is annoying. I would have gotten an Earthquake off on him, but it's not too big of a deal. Between Toxic Heal and me resisting Rock Slide, it did not do a whole lot of damage. He is now going to bring out his Staraptor. I was kind of anticipating this switch, and I think I had used Facade last turn, but I decided to use Earthquake in case he wanted to stay in. I'm just going to switch out here. I have a very solid switch into this Staraptor in my Rotom W, although a choice banded close combat would have hurt a lot. He does just U-turn, however, as I thought he might, that or Brave Bird. He will U-turn out into his Volcarona, and it was actually at this point I took my eyes off my DS for a second, and I didn't see what move he used. I just saw those green sparks coming through, and I thought it was actually Giga Drain, which affects the move I make next. But I don't even think Volcarona can get Giga Drain in 6th gen yet, so I bring out Azumarill. What I should have done is just Waterfall right here, because I resist both the Volcarona stabs, but in case that was Giga Drain, I do just go for the Aqua Jet, which isn't able to 2-hit KO the Reuniclus, which Waterfall obviously would have. So again, a bit of a misplay. Tip number 1, don't take your eyes off your DS, especially on the cartridge games, well obviously on the cartridge games, because you cannot see what moves were done last, like on a simulator. I do, however, have a great counter to this Reuniclus in Aegislash, and I do bring it right out. But this is where mixed Aegislash is kind of better. As you'll see here, I set up a Swords Dance because I just have Sacred Sword and Shadow Sneak, and Shadow Sneak unboosted will not do a whole lot to Reuniclus. But considering I have to Swords Dance in a way, I again give this extra drill pretty much a free turn as I have to switch right back out. I could have predicted with Sacred Sword, but I wasn't really feeling that risky. Anyway, I have a lot of Pokemon that kind of hard counter his Mons, so it's not too big a deal. I'm giving this extra drill free turns. But I do bring out Gliscor here and set up a Swords Dance. And I'm feeling very confident in that Gliscor can live any one hit from this Reuniclus, considering it is a bulky one. We've seen Rocky Helmet on it, no Life Orb. And so I do take that Psychic quite nicely and can potentially 2-hit KO this Reuniclus. I predict, however, the Staraptor switch. In a way, I knew the Facade also would finish that Reuniclus off, so I had no reason not to go for it. If Facade takes it out anyway and potentially takes out his switch-in, it's great. So I take out the Staraptor, and he brings out Volcarona. I don't want to lose this Gliscor potentially to like a Life Orb Fire Blast, because it walls his Excadrill, and he does just go right for the Bug Buzz, bringing my Mamoswine right on down. I did have the Sash, so it's not too big a deal, but I was really just bringing in Mamoswine to be death fodder. He does, however, decide to switch out of Mamoswine, I guess not wanting to take the Ice Shard damage, but anticipating that, I'd go for the Earthquake. I also didn't want him setting up a Quiver Dance, essentially for free, on my Ice Shard. So it wasn't a very good play for him to switch out to Absol. Maybe he was wanting to predict the Stealth Rocks, but again, not a solid move. He then goes out to Reuniclus, who is also promptly taken out with an Earthquake. And then he goes out an Excadrill, who would be able to take out Mamoswine, but I decide to leave it for Death Fodder, and I have a great switch into Excadrill, my Gliscor. These are the kind of same moves you've been seeing throughout this game. This Excadrill really just not being able to do a whole lot in this matchup because I have Gliscor. Gliscor, I go right for the Earthquake, doesn't take this Excadrill out in one hit. I'm not running any attack EVs on this Gliscor, so that's not really a surprise. But he's just going for the Metal Claw, just, I guess, trying to whittle down my Gliscor. He said, I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot to take it on. So he decides to sack Excadrill. His last, I believe, is Volcarona. So he sacked Excadrill to potentially give Volcarona a free turn to set up rather than switching in on the Earthquake. He does set up a Quiver Dance, but it's kind of all for naught because I still have the Choice Band Azumarill who has Aqua Jet. Now he sets up the first Quiver Dance, and we're going to see that Azumarill isn't even needed at this point, as I live the +1 Bug Buzz and proceed to take him out with a second Earthquake. So that will be game. It was a fun one. He was really at quite a bad team advantage. A lot of his Pokemon were handled very well by my team. But it was still a fun game. Things to learn, I guess, from this match. For example, around the mid-game where I facaded and took out his Staraptor. Know kind of how much damage things will do. Facade only has about 30 less base power than Earthquake, and I knew, considering how much Earthquake did to Reuniclus, I knew Facade would take it out, which allowed me to take out his Staraptor on a switch. In a way, it looks like I predicted, but for me, it was really just the right play, because it took out Reuniclus regardless, and potentially took out Staraptor, which it did. So just kind of knowing damage calcs in your head, it's a little harder on the cartridge rather than the simulator, because most damage calcs people know are for the level 100 metagame, whereas this metagame is level 50. And you don't have exact percentages. You don't know that Gliscor's +2 Earthquake did exactly 73% like you would in the simulator. So there's a lot more, in a way, guesswork, but you just have to reason. You have to reason out your best moves. So there you go. That was the first Wi-Fi battle. I will be bringing more of these in the future, and I will be setting up the Facebook page, as I said I would. Still haven't done it yet, but that will be up soon. And once that's up, you guys can just share your friend codes. I'll have mine on the Facebook page, and we can just get tons of battles. And then your battles can be featured on my channel. It'd be great. So be on the lookout for more Wi-Fi battles. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and leave a comment on what you thought about the battle. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my videos. I'll have tons of more X and Y content, Wi-Fi battles, rated Wi-Fi battles, and Pokemon Showdown, along with Teams of the Week. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.